Hi, everybody, and welcome to Cope with Hope. Today, I'm interviewing 5 lovely young women who have dedicated their lives to service and to prayer and the benefit of others. 61 days it's been now since our lockdown. And I remember the day it started me thinking, and I think I wrote this on Instagram, that this is the time to think of the other. And I think that's what these girls have done. This is the time they've thought of the other. And it's also the time to have self compassion. And I think that they also have self compassion. They've combined self compassion, connectivity, and service for the other. And I think it's amazing what they do. So I'll start with Anu. Anu, what is it that inspired you to start chanting and to start working with animals and doing the rescue work you do and fostering them and just the service work that you do?
Okay, so the chanting came about because I'm part of the spiritual group and they've always held me through the tough times. So when Priya offered to do the chanting with us, there was absolutely no way I could say no to it because it's such an important part of my life.
Yes.
So I was very happy to do it because the lockdown is forcing me to isolate myself from other people, as in I don't get to interact and engage with people, and this kind of coming together to chant with everyone is making me feel held, and it's making me feel like part of a supportive community.
Love.
So that was that is how the chanting came about. And of course, animals, I've always loved cats, and I've always had a cat around me for the last few years. And I was feeding a stray cat who happened to injure himself just as the lockdown started. And again, there wasn't really a choice there. It wasn't like I was going to say, no, I'm not going to take this on because it's a lockdown and it's going to be so difficult to take care of a cat. It is just who I am, and I just love animals so much that there was absolutely no doubt in my mind that this animal needed my care, and I was happy to give it my care. And I just feel like everything happens for a reason, and
Yes.
Leo appeared in my life for a reason.
Yes, that's lovely. Thank you so much. Soumya, what is it that inspired you to do the seva that you do and the chanting?
So I'll start with the chanting because that has been life changing. Of course, it was recommended by Priya, and it started with a feeling of being held, and then very soon it took off to be chanting for the benefit of all. And that just made me feel that sitting at home completely isolated, yet with the power of our prayers we're being able to help and heal everybody all over the world. And I think that's what kind of, I look forward to this chanting every day. Pretty much a large part of that group is here on this call today. And as far as the service that I've been doing, I must say I've been extremely inspired by both my sisters because they do a lot and feel a lot for animals. And I also feel that animals help me to connect to myself and express myself. I
Yes.
find it easier to feel for an animal and express my emotions.
Yes.
And they too do a lot. And so along with them, I've been kind of directing my energies towards animals. And of course, Priya is a great inspiration for that. And even in this group, like Anu, she's always thinking of
That's
animals.
lovely, but will you guys, you keep saying Priya. I don't think the audience knows who Priya is.
Okay.
Okay.
Will you tell us?
So Priya is our teacher. She's a guru to me, and we all work together with her.
Okay, that's lovely. Thank you. So you've been inspired by your sister Sonalee and your other sister. And will you continue doing this after the lockdown going forward?
Oh,
That's
absolutely. Like, I'm actually now trying to reach out to other people that are doing something like this on their own, and how during the lockdown I can reach out to them and at least kind of ask them whether donation will help them to kind of scale up what they're doing.
wow.
So yeah, this is something that will continue for sure.
Annie, what inspires you to do your seva? And like, how long do you chant? How long have you been chanting for? Since the lockdown, in a day, how many minutes or hours or?
So yeah, so I think chanting has come about because I recently, actually, it just coincidentally, I moved out of a professional working environment. I sort of, finished my last employment end of March. So it was very coincidental that just exactly at this time, I genuinely had a lot of time at hand. And mind is the monkey. So I had to find a better way than to binge watch, because that's the easiest place to go to. So when this opportunity of chanting with the group came about, it sort of gave me a lot of structure to the day. And while we chanted as a group in the evenings, we also had individual chanting that we would like to do during the day. So for me, I had structured my day in such a way that at least every 5 hours or every 3 to 4 hours, I'm doing something while waking, so that it just keeps me grounded. It's very easy to take off. So I had to do this more as a self-preservation to sort of just really hone my imagination together. And when we started doing as a group, we were encouraged to offer it for all beings. And that's where I think the seva sort of just really came about, because most often when you're praying, when you're chanting, of course you are asking for help for self. But when you extend it outside, then it becomes easy. I mean, I'm learning that it becomes easier to not just focus on yourself. And I think that's what the 50 days of lockdown has sort of taught me. And I love food in general. Like I could just eat all day if there were calories in food. So it started off as cooking for the house, because of course you don't have your staff here. But and I realized that I genuinely like to cook and share with others. So it started with small gestures of just cooking and sharing with my neighbor. And then we came about this opportunity within our community where we were cooking, where there were people organizing cooking to be delivered to the migrant workers who were stranded. And I thought that I must try that. And it was very daunting because I've never cooked for more than 2 people. So I don't know the amount, etc. But it's just something that you get your hands on and you try and do it. And that made me realize just offering some of your love, or offering all of your love in the way you do something, is really the seva. So whether it's of sharing fruits or vegetables or flowers, and I think sharing has been the way I connect to seva.
That's lovely.
So
self-compassion and sharing. That's lovely. Thank you, Annie. Sonalee.
Yes.
Will you tell me what is it that inspires you to live a life of service? And are you going to continue this after this? And how long do you spend in chanting?
So life of service, yes, I have even pre-lockdown I must say the world, the universe, life has been extremely kind to me to take me to or give me opportunities where I'm able to be of service. And I was in the corporate world for 20 years. And the joy which I get today of being of service, of being a no one, and just being there for the person who I'm helping is beautiful, because it has also taught me how to be an open person, how, there are always ideas in your mind that this is the right way to do it. But then, you always have to take yourself out of the picture and say, if I'm going to help you, then I will be there for the way you want me to be. And this has been a great journey. And, at the beginning of the lockdown, and when the migrant crisis started happening, it was just like, you're feeling like, what do I do? What do I do? And at a level, writing a checkout is probably the easiest thing. But it's also about how do you really make a difference for that person? How are you available? And there again, I think life was really kind, where someone reached out to me and told me how 50 of them are stranded with no money. And I just reached out and to a bunch of my friends who were my ex-colleagues. And I was surprised with the kind of generosity I received from this bunch, that it's been 2 months now. We've taken care of their food, we've taken care of their rent. For some of them, we're sending money home to their families because the families depend upon the income. And I mean, you're just a vehicle or a channel. You just kind of, and I'm grateful for that.
Yes.
And I've always heard about it, right? When you give, it's great, and there is no other joy. But I always wonder, what does this mean? This is all like airy fairy stuff. But once you're in it, and once you realize that, the difference between writing the check and doing it yourself is it's an unbelievable experience, and I'm grateful for that. I hope to continue to be of service the way best I can be. Regarding chanting, I do believe that chanting opened up the ability for that person to reach out to me, and me to be able to connect to my friends and, bring about the kind of support we could give these people. And during this 40 days, I've had 3 dogs who just randomly landed up, abandoned dogs, in front of our house.
Okay.
And it's just, you're like wondering, what do you do? What suddenly changed? And that's been a lot of heartbreak, and at the same time keeping myself hopeful that how to find these 3 dogs a home, forever home. In fact, just day before yesterday, we got the 3rd dog, who's a Great Dane and Indie mix, a beautiful girl, and she was abandoned because in the neighborhood they fear that dogs spread corona. So at one level you deal with this kind of heartbreak, and at the same time you need to be committed, and chanting has helped that. And also chanting helped me, my sister, get closer to my mother and my 3rd sister, because we now chant every evening. And I'm grateful because, again, when we chant, it's not about us, it's not about our family, it's about everybody, and it just expands you.
That's lovely. Karishma, tell me what you chant. We're saying chanting, chanting, chanting. I'd like to also know, what is it that you...
So, there is the Rudra Gayatri.
Will you start?
Yeah, so we do Rudra Gayatri, and it goes like Om Tat Purushaya Vidmahe Mahadevaya Dhimahi Tanno Rudra Prachodaya. Om Tat Purushaya Vidmahe Mahadevaya Dhimahi Tanno Rudra Prachodaya. Om Tat Purushaya Vidmahe Mahadevaya Dhimahi Tanno Rudra Prachodaya.
Beautiful. It is really beautiful. So, Karishma, I know you're making masks for people. How did you start this?
So, actually, I'm not making the masks, but I have a cousin who, so when just before the lockdown started, he's been producing masks. He does a lot of other things, but when this came about, he started doing this. So he just called me up saying, I'm sending the whole family masks. So just telling us how many we would require. It started with that. And then so I just told him to hold on. And there was a lot of thought, like I haven't been stepping out to do anything for others because I have a little child at home.
Yeah.
So there was this thing of wanting to do something. So that really struck with me because I know people are really struggling with the surgical masks. And for the poor people, like with the prices shooting up, it was very difficult for them to buy a mask for 75 rupees.
Yeah.
So then I asked him, if he can like give it to me in bulk. And he said, most definitely. And that's how it started. So I started distributing it to the security in the building, to the housekeeping who work in our block. And then I asked them, about their families and if there are people around their houses who would need it. So then I would just send it with them. And as in how they keep asking, I just keep ordering for more and distributing it to them.
That's amazing. Amazing. You're all inspiring. Seva can be done in any way and in every way. There's never a dearth to the amount of seva that's needed. It's just brilliant, guys. Quickly now, Annie, what is hope for you?
Hope is being fearless.
Hope is being fearless. Soumya, what is hope for you?
So hope is that one lifeline that God has given you, and you can use it n number of times all your life. Like they say, ummeed pe dunya kayam hai.
Wow. Anu, what is hope for you?
Hope for me is holding on to a positive attitude no matter what the circumstances, and trusting that when you fall, there is really no fall, that it is just a fall, it is just surrender.
Wow, it's just beautiful. Karishma, hope for you, darling?
Hope for me is staying in positivity during the tough times and having absolute and complete faith that you are taken care of and you are held.
Lovely. Sonalee?
Hope is never giving up.
Never giving up. What is love for you, Sonalee?
Love is is opening your heart and smiling like I am right now. Just
Anu, love?
letting out of right now here.
Love is this here. Yeah.
Yes. Uh, yeah, Nandini. So love is, to me, it is kindness, it is devotion, and it is being present.
Lovely. Karishma, love, what is love for you?
Love for me is sharing what I have as much as I can. And it's just such a broad spectrum. And I think, yeah, like Sonalee said, for me, I cannot put it into words, but when all of us are together, that for me is love, like love at its purest.
Annie, what is love?
Love for me is complete acceptance and joy. Lots and lots of joy.
Soumya?
So for me, love is that deep connection to myself and connection to God. And love is like this constant big hug, like just a hug. Like right now, with all of you, I'm feeling that hug right now. That's love.
Yes. Love. Yeah. So guys, any last minute thing that you'd like to say about taking all this forward, Sonalee?
Firstly, thank you for giving us this platform. It kind of helps also to kind of just articulate it, and then you realize, oh wow, okay, we're really blessed.
Yeah.
I would just say that I think we all feel, what can we do as an individual? How can we make a difference? But this has just shown that you can make a difference at any level.
Yeah.
You just need to take that first step out.
Yes, yes. Karishma?
So I will continue with this, but it might not be masks. If it is, I will continue with that. But I want to see how else I can extend. And I'm sure I don't know what it is going to be right now, but I know when the time is right, it will come to me.
Yeah.
So
Anu?
that's.
I think what the last few days, the last few weeks have left me with is that when you make yourself available, the world makes itself available to you. And I just feel immense gratitude for everyone in this group who've supported me through this and who've helped Leo along with me.
Yeah.
And I feel a lot of gratitude.
And Neo is your cat?
Leo is my cat, yes.
Or handsome cat.
Oh, handsome.
Yeah.
Anything that you'd like to say before we end?
So first of all, Nandinii, congratulations. You're completing a month of Cope with Hope.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us as a part of this one celebration. And I just wanted to kind of leave us all with one thought, that this is the first time in my lifetime that the whole world is going through the same thing.
Yeah.
And that just gives all of us an opportunity to just connect with the whole world and just pray for each other, because there is power in prayers.
Beautifully said. Annie?
I think I'm understanding how to be more grateful. Gratitude is something that we all do have at some level in our hearts, but the depth of gratitude, the pushing through all of gratitude, I think that's what this time has sort of shown us. And to be able to, like what Anu said, to be able to make yourself available and to be able to put yourself out there in any which way possible. It doesn't have to be a particular way. It can even be just having someone in your thoughts, in your prayers for 5 minutes. You can be hopeful that you are doing something, because every single prayer counts. And I think that's what I'm learning and I'm trying to practice.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, all of you, for coming and celebrating this day with me. Exactly 1 month of Cope with Hope. And thank you, all of you who view my interviews. It's really amazing the love that I feel from all you viewers, the love that I feel from everybody that I interview, from my heart to your heart, from our hearts to all hearts. May all feel loved and held in this. Thank you. Thank you.